Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Not Quite Nerds. I'm Matt.
I'm Luch.
And I'm Mallory.
There we go. That was better. Right, you wouldn't believe this is take 15, guys. Right, this is what you're getting right now. On this week's show, we're going to talk about Mallory's Marvel Madness. It's back, and we are going to discuss the, I suppose I was going to say pending, but possible merger between Netflix and Warner Brothers / Paramount and Warner Brothers, depending on what the giant orange Cheeto decides. Okay, Mallory's Marvel Madness. Where are we at? Who see?
So, okay, I feel like it was kind of a slow week.
Good.
But
For me.
What?
It was a slow week for me too. I was like, how does she do this every week?
I know. Thank you.
I appreciate the commitment. I felt the pain. Yeah.
Thank you. And I feel like it could have been a faster week, but for where I ended. So I watched Venom, loved that, went through that, watched Thor Ragnarok, obviously loved that, went through that, and then we started with the TV show run that I have to do. So I've watched all of Inhumans and episode 1 of The Punisher, season 1.
I feel better now because I felt like I've not even finished the Inhumans. I've got 2 episodes to go, and I feel like I'm torturing myself, forcing myself to watch them.
But, yeah.
I don't think I've seen more than I think the season premiere of Inhumans and maybe the second episode, and I think I just left it after that.
So
I've never sat down. I have no idea what goes on.
We'll get to that.
All I know is that what's his face is in it. Ramsey Bolton.
Yeah.
Is in it. That's all I know.
Okay, let's start with Venom then.
Venom.
So you come in off the back of Spider-Man: Homecoming, possibly one of the strongest of the Marvel movies. Brilliant, everything about it, and you go straight into Venom. Go on, tell us.
Honestly, I loved that back to back, going from Spider-Man to Venom.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys know, last time we saw Venom was Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire, and then you get Tom Hardy's Venom.
Yeah.
And I love this movie. I forget how good it is. I love his downfall, because he starts off the movie on a high, and then he has this downfall, and that's when he and Venom meet. And I love it. I just think it's such a fun movie. I think that their play together is so much fun. I think Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams is fun. I think Venom and Michelle Williams is fun. I like Jenny Slate. I'm sad. I always forget she dies.
That's
but
right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then the bad guy, he's one of those people, I know him. I just can never remember where I know him from. But such a pompous little shit. But such a good bad guy, because he's also kind of different than the bad guys we've seen so far in these Marvel movies. Because he's bad because he's Elon Musk. That's who he is. He thinks he's doing good, and in actuality, he's only doing good for him.
Okay.
So not to get political.
I mean, I almost feel like the comparison. It's almost wrong to compare Tom Hardy Venom with Tobey Maguire Venom, or Topher Grace, really. I mean, if you want to get down into it, because he plays Eddie Brock, right?
Yeah.
Topher Grace, and because you don't. I feel like Venom is kind of like Deadpool in a way, where they kind of, not that he breaks the fourth wall, but it's like his own little mini personality in the comics. They like that interaction between Tom Hardy and the Venom symbiote, it's completely separate, and they talk to each other. And you don't really get that. I don't really remember getting too much of that.
No, there's a lot of it.
In Spider-Man 3?
Not Spider-Man 3. You get a lot of it in Venom.
No, you get a lot of it in Venom, but what I'm saying is you don't get much of that in Spider-Man 3.
Venom is almost just like a suit in Spider-Man 3, whereas he's a character in Venom.
Yeah.
Right. Which is how it's supposed to be.
It's a buddy cop movie. Like it's just Tom Hardy plays both sides of that coin.
Speaking of buddy cop movie, first tangent of the day. Drink everybody. Have you heard the rumor? Lethal Weapon 5.
I mean, I've seen Lethal Weapon 5. I've seen Lethal Weapon 6.
Are you talking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I know that they've pulled them because there's blackface in them, but I've seen them and they exist.
Just had to throw that out there. That apparently both, they're all back. Even Joe Pesci.
That's just a nightmare. Is Chris Rock? Is it Chris Rock? It was Chris Rock, wasn't it? Chris Rock, wasn't it?
Chris Rock was in Lethal Weapon 4. Yeah. He's the one that married Murtaugh's daughter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys want to know something?
Go on.
I've never seen Lethal Weapon.
Oh, I would make you watch
serious?
it. Where can we fit that into the Marvel Universe? I think that's actually a prequel to Captain America.
Yeah.
I'm past it. I'm past it. Sorry.
Oh, you just need to go back and fill it in.
Gotta move on.
They're good films. They are very, very good films.
They're fun.
All right, we'll add it to the 2027 list.
Okay. So go back to Venom. Yes, you're right. In Spider-Man 3, it's much more of a seat, and it's just a whisper sort of leading him astray. And in this, it's much more...
Yeah, it's kind of like a subconscious almost. Yeah.
And in the comic books, it's almost like an amplifier of the person's personality. So depending on who it's merged with, depends on how he behaves. So obviously, Eddie Brock's got that good side to him, which is why he is the way he is. And whereas, we see later in the Venom trilogy, when the symbiotes merge with different people who've got different tendencies, it amplifies those tendencies. So there's some good runs in the comic books where Venom merges with a special forces soldier who's a little bit of a psycho, and as such goes on a rampage, and you have those sorts of things. So that's what they get right in this. They absolutely nail that. And Tom Hardy's really good. I think my disappointment with Venom is it's tainted by Venom 2.
We're not there yet.
That I remember.
We it's teased in the end credit scene. You get Woody Harrelson.
And that was such a good thing where you were like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. We've got Woody Harrelson playing
Carnage. Like they admitted it's Carnage.
But playing a psycho as well, like getting back to his roots, his natural born killer roots and stuff. You were like, oh, this is going to be so... It just didn't quite make it. And I don't think I've seen the third one.
I have not seen the third one either. I saw the first two. I've not seen the third.
So maybe we'll all get to that at some point.
I'll let you know when we're there.
But you're right. It's the chemistry between Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy that works so well in this film.
Oh.
What are you doing?
I'm putting my hands up.
You are making us look bad.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Why would you do that?
Because it is a very sensible thing to do.
Eddie?
I will take care of this myself.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy voiced Venom too, because I know obviously we know he has some great voices.
He did. Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he did. He did. He does both.
Yeah, I mean he's great.
He is great.
I think my favorite ongoing thing between Eddie and Venom is just the fact that Venom wants to eat everybody's heads, and Eddie keeps saying no until he says yes. And I just love it.
It builds to it.
Yeah, it's so good. When I was watching it, I was like, I don't remember another funny Marvel movie, and then I was like, wait, duh, Deadpool and Ant-Man. But because you just get so into it, it almost makes you forget the other stuff, which I think is a good movie. I think it still holds up.
I think this probably set the path for Deadpool to come back into the Marvel universe.
I agree, because you saw it work with Sony and Marvel. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was and I think Sony have been chasing it since Venom. Trying to bring in these characters, good actors, make them, fringe characters into significant characters, playing with the anti-hero thing, and it's not worked with anybody else. So that's probably a credit to Tom Hardy, for pulling that together and being able to be that good and to capture Venom so well.
And I know it was teased in the last Spider-Man film, but I really do want to see Tom Holland and Tom Hardy as Spider-Man and Venom. Like, I would love to watch that.
I think we'll get it.
Really.
I think,
I
or will
hope
we? Well, I think we'll get a Tobey Maguire, or they've said it's Andrew Garfield's universe, haven't they? Hasn't there been hints at that?
that's what I
Venom is
remember
Andrew
reading. That it's
Garfield's.
actually in Andrew Garfield's universe. Yeah.
I know, but I want Tom Holland. And obviously, we know like they've already started multiversing, going through all the stuff. I just want that connection.
I think
I
the
mean,
hints.
I don't think we have much time though.
Yeah,
Because if Doomsday and stuff is going to crush the multiverse saga, we don't have much time.
and
If
also
that's the rumor.
remember, Tom Hardy said he got pulled back into his universe. He just left behind a bit of Venom. So he actually disappeared. It was just the bit of Venom that was left. But you're right. It would be cool to see that. I'd settle for Andrew Garfield and Tom Hardy.
Yeah. I just think that I just feel like the Tom Hardy, Tom Holland banter would be really good. Like, obviously, Andrew Garfield can also do no wrong, but I just feel like you have that very young Spider-Man with this gruff Eddie Brock. I just feel like that'd be a really fun relationship.
Total tangent number 2, so drink. If you live in the UK, Tom Hardy did a thing for children's BBC where he read bedtime stories, and it was the most viewed bedtime stories ever. And they totally attributed it to all the mums. I'm almost sure, and thrown it out there, that Marie, Rob's wife, used to watch the Tom Hardy bedtime stories.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Our old ass man.
Our old ass man. Somebody asked me about
For those who don't know, assistant manager.
Yeah. Ass man. He was the ass man.
Ass man.
He was a whinge. Loved him, but he was a whinge.
He was a whinge.
Okay.
So I'm giving Venom a 9.
A 9. Oof.
A 9.
A 9.
I mean, that puts
That's
it
strong.
Ragnarok, Homecoming. What else are we looking at there?
Well, Ragnarok is next. Ragnarok is next on the list.
Civil War, Daredevil, what was it? Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
No, the Deadpool was a 9.5.
Ant-Man, you gave a 9, Mallory.
I think I love a comedy superhero movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
No.
Wow.
Well, then that's a perfect segue into Thor Ragnarok.
All right, so I'm going to start my discussion with Thor Ragnarok by saying Matt is wrong.
Okay.
Matt has never been more wrong, just wrong. It is you're the whole. We talked about it, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that every time we watch it, it takes load away. I disagree. No, just wrong.
Just doesn't. It's not as funny. The more you watch it,
the first time you watch it, it's obviously going to be the best time you watch it because it's all new. But I still really enjoy those moments. I enjoy watching the Valkyrie and Bruce Banner being like, I feel like I know you. I feel like I know you. And like not knowing why. I enjoy Jeff Goldblum. Like, I just feel like he's just so ridiculous. I enjoy Thor finally coming into his own and actually having a personality that's not just warrior. And that you can't take away. Like, obviously, the jokes. He's a friend from work. Loki's face is going to like drop the second he sees Hulk, but I still love it. And it has, I think, one of my favorite jokes. I alluded to this weeks ago, and Luch was with me when I caught it the very first time. And I think I made us rewind it like 5 times when they're coming up with their plan. That Thor says that they're the Revengers. Valkyrie and they're trying to decide if they can trust Loki. And Thor's like, well, no, because like when we were kids, he transformed himself into a snake, and he knows I love snakes, and so I picked him up because I wanted to admire the snake, and he transformed back to himself and stabbed me, and stabbed me. And it's just the most like ridiculous thing. And I would like to think it was ad-lib, but I don't really care because I just think it's such a funny, stupid, does not further the plot in the slightest. It's just so different than the Thor we've seen, but also encompasses their relationship perfectly. Because then you have Tom Hiddleston kind of smiling to himself hearing the story.
Well, I think you're right, because I think it's those moments like that where you actually see that they really were they were brothers who did love each other. Like, yes, they competed, but like they grew up in the same house. Like they grew up on Asgard together. You know what I mean? Like they had their sibling rivalry. They had their moments, and outside of the first half hour of the first Thor movie, after that, it's just villain versus hero to a certain degree, right? I mean, like, you have that moment where they go to the ice planet and they're fighting the frost giants and stuff like that. But once they get back to Asgard and you find out that Loki had this like underhanded plan all along, or was thinking that he was different and found out that he truly was. After that, it's just, he puts Loki in jail, then like he tricks him, and now then Thor ends up in the prison, and then they're fighting, and then obviously the Battle of New York, and then just all this other stuff. You just see them just at odds with each other, where finally you just get them just working together.
My argument would be that Thor Ragnarok is more important to Loki's development than it is Thor's.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
But it's still moving the story forward.
But it's Thor Ragnarok, not Loki Ragnarok. I mean, I liked it. Let's not deny it's a big step up from Thor 2. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's where I think, this was the make or break, I think, for Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, he said it. He was open about it. He said that if he had gone back and had to do another Shakespearean style drama, that he would not have done it. That it just wouldn't have worked for him. He said, so Taika Waititi coming on and doing it was a great thing. And I don't think it's a bad film. I just don't think it's as good as I thought it was the first time. And every time I watch it, I feel like it loses just a little bit of its shine because it isn't as funny. The jokes, and the jokes don't have the weight maybe that some of the jokes had. So when Kat makes a joke, you don't expect it. But hey, you're entitled to your opinion even when it's wrong.
Yeah.
You're entitled to your opinion when it's wrong, and I would agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong.
I still think that I still give it the second best Thor movie, 100%.
Oh.
I don't think it's the best one. The first one is the best, followed by the second, but for very different reasons. Because that's the thing that I noticed about Thor as the character, is that first and second Thor movie, Thor is just that warrior mythos. He is the hammer. Like, he's the guy that comes in and just beats the crap out of people, and he's arrogant and he's entitled and he's all that stuff. And then obviously he gets brought down to size, when Odin takes his powers away and everything else. But then I feel like it takes more, like, his personality really 180s after Thor 2.
Yeah.
Like, he really becomes more of the jokey kind of Thor. He becomes the Star-Lord. You know what I mean? He's more of just he's more about the humor.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like if you watch Ragnarok or Love and Thunder and then immediately watch the first Thor, it's like they're two different characters completely.
Yeah.
And like it's almost hard to see how he goes from Thor 1 to Thor 3.
I'm going to argue. I think it's Jane. He meets Jane in Thor 1. We know from like watching the later movies that they end up living together.
Yeah.
And he lives on Earth with her. And then Thor 3, they've broken up. And I think he's become a little more human in Thor 3.
So I was about to raise that point. We never see Donald Blake. The closest we see to seeing Donald Blake, which is Thor's Earth alter ego, is he wears
that fake ID.
Yeah, that he takes the fake ID, or is it a name badge, or whatever it is. He wears that when he saves Jane in Thor 1, and we don't see anything more than that. So, I mean, your argument could be right. He is more human. He understands things a little bit more. He's more along that path. I just think, as I said, I don't think it's as funny. It's good, and it's important for the evolution of Loki. I don't think we get a significant amount of evolution from Thor. It does have some of the greatest individual lines and scenes.
Yes.
It does have those amazing moments, but also it's just a Taika Waititi film.
Yeah.
Like, he can't write characters in a different way. I mean, we see
No,
Quentin
he
Tarantino.
writes his own movies, and
Yeah.
that I think is the downfall for Love and Thunder,
You know-
whereas he steers too much into that skid.
Is it
And
in
I
the
feel
shadow?
like-
No, We Are the Shadows. Whatever the
Shadows.
Yeah.
the film that is now a TV show. Same thing, same style of character, same. Even to the point where a lot of the supporting cast are the same.
But I
actors.
like that though. Like, I'm never gonna yuck that. Everything that I enjoy, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, and I haven't gotten bored of it so far. I also don't hate on Love and Thunder. I think the way other people do. Like, I do enjoy that movie. I do think it's a big step down from Ragnarok, but I don't poo-poo it.
Still the third best Thor movie.
Yeah.
I mean, by a large margin over Thor 2.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like you can barely see Thor 2 from where Love and Thunder is.
Yeah.
The other thing I forgot about, and I don't know if "forgot's" the right word, but maybe didn't put two and two together. And obviously, we know Matt Damon's in this movie, but it's also Matt Damon's second Marvel movie because he's in Deadpool too.
But Matt Damon's also playing Loki,
I know.
who he plays in Dogma.
In Dogma.
Yeah.
Oh no, that I love every time. That I clocked immediately.
And then you've got the other Hemsworth as
Thor.
And
Sam O'Neill as Odin.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, by the way, then Jeff Goldblum's 2 scenes later.
Yeah.
Just Jurassic Park again.
Oh my God, that's so right. That just hit me now. That yes, Sam O'Neill is Odin. Oh my God, they just wow, from 1993 to.
Yeah, I also think we need more Matt Damon Marvel cameos.
Okay, so that's the new Stan Lee. It's Matt Damon.
Why not?
Let's do it.
Because you don't expect to see Matt Damon.
I mean, I think it should be Deadpool if we're going to do a new Stan Lee.
Well, yeah.
It should just be
I
random.
also think this is one of my favorite Stan Lee cameos is Thor 3. I think he's so good.
I still think my favorite.
One of my favorite, not my favorite. One of.
I still think my favorite is Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because he's reading the script.
Oh, that one's me.
For more.
He's reading the Mallrats script. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we giving it? Thor?
I'm giving Thor Ragnarok an 8.5.
Okay. So you think Venom's better than Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I would have swapped it. I would have probably given.
Yeah, I'd probably.
Venom.
I mean, to Matt's point, again, I don't think it's lost its shine, but if you had asked me Thor Ragnarok the first time I watched it, I probably would have given it a 10.
Yeah.
But because the jokes don't hit the same way, I think that's why it's lost. But I think it's still a phenomenal movie, so I'm keeping it as an 8.5.
I'm just trolling Luch.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm going through I'm going through the spreadsheet, and I don't think I gave me personally. I don't think I gave any movie a 10 in my rankings. Because I always think there's something I would change.
I think I know what you mean, and you're so. Tangent number 3, drink. On that note,
Ellie's going to be drunk in the shower, by the way.
Before she's even gone to work, it's great. I think. Can we address how long Kelly's showers are? If she's listening to the podcast in the shower. Anyway, tell us where you listen to the podcast, please, and we'll keep a running score. I watched the Guillermo del Toro film Pan's Labyrinth in the cinema. When it first came out, and I own a special edition DVD that is still wrapped because I'm afraid to watch it again because I loved it so much the first time, and that would be one of the only films in my life I think I would say is a 10. And I'm terrified
if you wanted to watch it again, I'm pretty sure it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
I think it is.
But I mean, I've got it there. I just am afraid that should I watch it again, it'll remove that shine. So. That's there.
I mean, I think I can only think of one movie that, in my opinion, is perfect.
Debbie Does Dallas.
No.
Clerks.
Showgirls.
No. It's actually it's not a Kevin Smith movie. It's not a Kevin Smith.
Are you sure Cop Out's pretty good?
Knock knock.
Jim, don't do it. Don't do it. If you value our partnership, Don't do it.
Do it.
We've been putting it in together for 9
Do it.
years. Don't do it, Jim.
Do it.
Jim, don't do it,
Do
Jim.
it. Do it.
Who's there?
Why'd you do it, Jim? Why? Why? To humiliate me?
Orange.
For what? No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. No. Aren't you, damn it?
Aren't you pissed your wife's sick in the ass from another guy right now?
Are you guys
actually funny that you mentioned
Deep cut.
Cop Out because it doesn't because it does involve an actor in Cop Out.
Oh, Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think that as an action Christmas movie, and it is a Christmas movie. I don't give a shit what Bruce Willis has said in the past. It is. It mentions Christmas 17 times throughout the entire movie. I'm just going to throw it out there. And it's taking place at a Christmas party on Christmas Eve. It is a Christmas movie.
This is definitely a conversation for next week, but I am 100% on your side.
Yeah, thank you. But that, in my opinion, is a perfect movie.
Okay.
And we'll go into more detail next week. This is just a preview.
I would argue that Die Hard 2 is better. Apart from the title, Die Hard 2, Die Harder. I don't know why that was what they came up with. So much.
Live Free or Die Hard.
It was so bad that they scrapped that. It was just like, no, we'll just call it Die Hard 2 from now, guys. Okay, right. So we've had two great Marvel products, and now we've got the Inhumans.
Okay, but I would like to remind everybody, I went into Inhumans excited because I remember watching it live and really enjoying it. Okay. And then I was just let down like horribly. I did not enjoy.
So I've still got 2 episodes to go. But
okay, so I won't tell you the ending.
I don't know how many episodes there are, but I have all of them to go.
Yeah.
I have not
8
watched
episodes. So I want to talk about episode 1.
Okay, go.
The pilot.
Mm-hmm.
So we are introduced to all the characters. Fine. There's Black Bolt. There's Medusa. There's Ramsay Bolton. Fine. Medusa's hair was so bad. Like, it was like, the wig of all wigs. Like, there was no way. You couldn't have paid me to believe that.
That weird half wig, half CGI.
Yes.
And it just... And considering they spent
IMAX... It's been that long since I've seen it.
They spent IMAX
no recollection of it.
Like, it was launched in IMAX, in theatres. The first 2 episodes were in theatres in IMAX. They were shot on IMAX cameras. And you're just like, but how did you get the special effects so wrong?
And then the second they Ramsay Bolton shaves her head, I'm like, oh, this is so much better.
But it's also that thing where you're like, so Medusa's main thing is her hair, right? So what should we do? Well, we can't really afford the CGI for the hair for every episode. Let's shave her head. Like, that must have been part of
it. No, wait a minute.
It also makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean,
why?
It's like going, all right, here's a Spider-Man film, but Spider-Man's just lost all his powers. Oh, you mean Spider-Man 3? No, I actually quite liked the first 2 episodes, despite their poor special effects. Like, I quite enjoyed them. I thought, oh, this is setting up a good story. There's lots of places we can go. And then
it went downhill.
It gets to the middle and it just starts dragging. And I like the characters. I like the actors. Ewan Raiden is the one that I probably don't like because he's just Ramsay Bolton again.
Can you say his Welsh name for us again, please?
Is it Raiden?
No, I don't know. Rian. I just can never pronounce
Ewan
it.
Rian. Theon.
Slower. Let's do it
Theon.
after me.
Ewan. Yeah?
Ewan.
Theon.
Creon?
I might just be Welshing that up. I don't know. Yeah.
I think you are, dude. You're Welshing that up a little bit.
Ewan Rian. Yeah. Rian. Okay.
Wait, is his name the same as Obi-Wan Kenobi?
No, because he's an E and Welsh is an I.
And versus Scottish. Okay, yeah.
Ewan Rian. Okay. I
mean, but it is the same name though, just different location.
And Celtic, both Celtic.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So.
Yeah.
But all of his characters are Ramsay Bolton. Even in the Misfits, he's Ramsay Bolton. Like
no, he's not Ramsay Bolton in the Misfits.
No,
at the end of the Misfits, he's Ramsay Bolton.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but the first season, definitely no. He's like timid and terrible.
So was Ramsay Bolton when he was Ramsay Snow. He was timid and terrible, and then he became Ramsay Bolton and became an asshole.
I just feel like he's that again. You know, you are being typecast now. We're just going to give you the same role over and over again. The sneaky, sly, just greasy, dislikable.
With a bad American accent.
Yeah. And I mean, I thought it was all right to start off with as well. I thought there's different directions you can take it. It's just that middle part. I found it really a hard slog to get through 4 episodes. And I'm like...
But I like the dog. The dog's a favorite part.
Yeah.
There's a giant bulldog, and he transports you wherever you want to go, and his name's Lockjaw, and he's so cute, and you just want to like cuddle with him.
And he's so bad CGI.
It's such bad CGI. But if he was real, you'd want to cuddle with him.
It's like where she reaches out her hand.
Why can't they do practical effects like they used to?
I don't know where I'm supposed to be stroking over here. Like, I know. Why don't they do practical effects? But we've talked about that. We talked about that way back, didn't we? First episode, I think we talked about practical effects over special effects. And I mean, it probably would have been difficult to have the full dog, but they could have had the head.
Yeah.
They could have stuck the head on something and had an animatronic head. Jurassic Park style.
What annoyed me about when they're on Earth, because Luch, they're on the moon. They live on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
That much I remember. I do remember that, yes.
Then they get sent off to Earth.
Hawaii.
It's still on the Earth.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where you're just like, right, well, that's where you wasted a large portion of your budget then, wasn't it, guys?
Well, no, because it's literally the same set as Lost.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching it, I was like, I'm pretty sure this was in Lost.
To the point where it's got one of the characters from Lost.
Yeah.
It's like he got left behind.
And the princess, do you notice her hair changes when she goes to Earth? Which is also like they just want to spend the money because like the princess has these like black streaks, like horizontal streaks in her hair, and she gets to Earth and they're just gone.
I didn't notice that until you said it, and then I was like, oh my god, they totally are. They just get rid of the black streaks in her hair.
Yeah. And spoilers, when she goes back to the moon, they're back.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
You clearly they filmed the moon set all in one, and then in a studio, and then they filmed everything else at a different time, and they were just like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
It was a shame. I mean,
it had potential.
Clearly, it was that bad that Kevin Feige was like, right, so we need to buy Fox.
Right, because I mean, the Inhumans was their answer to the mutants.
Yeah,
this was their.
That was what they were going to do. They were, and
right.
The problem is I think they promoted it as being the first. Let's not lie, the first TV show that linked into the wider MCU, because you know how they felt about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that, but they spent a S.H.I.E.L.D. budget on it and expected it to somehow be so much better, and you were just like, that was your mistake there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just feels like it's too grand for what they're trying to do. And I mean, again, I don't think the acting's bad. I don't think the casting's bad. I don't think the choice of characters is bad. I don't know. The story's probably...
You know what I think this would have benefited from? 13 episodes.
Yeah.
I think 8 episodes was too short. I think they rushed through a lot of the character development.
Which is amazing when you consider how slow it goes.
I know. Wait until you get to the finale and you're going to be like, wait.
Well, that's my issue is we're at 6. I've just finished 6. And I'm like, and they're back on the moon. So we've got 2 episodes of them dealing with stuff on the moon.
Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones, like PTSD.
Yeah,
I may have to actually sit down and try to watch, because again, I think I watched the first episode or 2 when it aired way back.
So I was the same. I remember watching episode 1.
It's
and then
completely out of my head. I have no clue what you guys are talking about right now. I have no idea.
And it was a shame because
I know Black Bolt.
Yeah, and it was good that he got his chance to properly be Black Bolt in Doctor Strange.
I have a question about Black Bolt, and maybe they address it in the comics, but this is all I could think about, and I'm really sorry.
Sex question.
It's a sex question.
I knew it was going to be like apologizing for it. Sorry, Jed.
So obviously, the man who gave me a sex talk at 5 years old.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
you know. Okay, so obviously he can't speak, and we also learn in the show he can't really make any noise because like at one point they taser him and he goes
Mhm.
and like kills a bunch of people. So how does he have sex?
Quietly. Like his parents are in the next room when he's 13 years old.
No, they're not. They're dead.
No, but
by the time he's
that's how he
13.
has sex. Like his parents are in the next room when he's 13 years old.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like that's all I could think about. I was like, how?
I remember because I didn't
Maybe
read a
she
lot of
gags him.
I didn't read a lot of mutants.
Maybe that's what they're into. He does wear a lot of leather.
That's where a lot of leather.
So maybe it's a ball gag. That's how they do it.
I mean, I didn't read a lot of mutants as a young adult, but I would imagine that at some point, I think I remember seeing this in like sketched out, like how Cyclops has his visor to obviously protect his eye ray from coming out. I feel like there was something that Black Bolt could put on himself, almost like a mask that would kind of sounded like Darth Vader, where like it would prevent some of the harshness from. I don't know. Maybe I might just be making this up, but I feel like I remember something about Black Bolt and wearing some type of mask.
I can't say
allowed
that
him.
I've read a lot of Inhumans. I've got one on my shelf over there. But from my understanding, he's never had anything. He had the tuning fork. Like his whole thing is his tuning fork on his head to represent how his sound, his vibrations from the sound, are what causes the damage.
So I Googled it.
Mm-hmm.
On what's it, Cora? Is that the whole thing?
Yeah,
And the question is, what would happen if Black Bolt had an orgasm? And this person responds with, he undergoes special meditative techniques to prevent himself from speaking, even while he sleeps. In the case of him having orgasms, I'm sure he would do so soundlessly, so I'm sure everything will be fine. Unless it's a really good blowjob, then we might be in trouble.
Yes.
And we just confirmed the E rating for this, the restricted rating for this podcast.
Let me just make a note of the time of that comment.
Yeah, definitely got the explicit category on now.
Oh, okay, but this is what I was thinking about when I was watching it because it was a concern.
I get it.
I like suicide and when I'm killing her accidentally.
Okay, I get it. No, I mean they are making out right in the first episode.
Yeah,
they're in bed. They're naked.
They're naked.
They're fully naked because she's using her hair to cover him.
Yeah. We'll cover her and him because she's on top.
Yeah.
But it was a network TV show, so they're never gonna like show that they were having sex, but it's implied.
Yeah, it's
the implication is there.
Yeah. It's just like when you take a girl out on a boat.
Exactly. The implication.
It's all about the implication. Okay, next up.
I'm giving it a 4.5.
4.5, okay.
I'm actually kind of surprised you put it that high.
No, because Matt said it starts off really well, and I like the characters. I think it had options. It like was not a snooze fest like Elektra or Blade, and there was no nipplegate. So 4.5.
Right.
Fair play.
I think I'd give it a 4, but I've not finished. You never know; it might like really spike high and might finish on like a 9 because it'll have an amazing end, or not.
Max, I'll put you down for 4-ish.
Yeah, I will finish it this week. I'll watch the next 2 episodes.
10 plus.
10 plus. 10 plus.
Also, the dog I think gave it an extra boost for me.
3.5 of that is the dog. It's Lockjaw.
I like him.
Speaking of blowjobs,
And then
Lockjaw.
This is the worst. Kelly, we're really sorry.
Yeah. So you started The Punisher, but we won't talk about that until next week. You've got multiple episodes of that to watch.
It's 13 episodes because it's
yeah. So you got
yeah.
So
yeah, but we'll talk about it next week. But what I will say is I don't think it started off slow. Like, I think it was very much more similar to
Iron
Fist. But I think it's because we didn't have to be introduced to the character.
Yeah, it's because they've already done the origin part of the
right.
Yeah.
So
I think you're gonna. I think this might be one of your favorite of the Netflix iteration. I think it's really it's one of mine. Having watched it like in the last couple of months, like I forgot how good the first season of The Punisher was. Um, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts when
I'll
you
let you know
finish it
next week.
next week.
But yeah, it's I have a feeling, and I'm gonna apologize to you guys and our listeners in advance. I think it's gonna be kind of slow weeks coming up because I mean it's difficult to get through full seasons in a week
Yeah.
of like
Yeah, and also it is holidays are upon us, and there's things to do and travelings to
be had.
to do as well.
traveling.
So
First class travel for some.
yes,
Must be nice.
Must be. And after that, you've got Marvel's Runaways.
Which I've never seen.
Yeah. So we on the weekend, me and Gemma watched. It's got the guy Connor Swindle from Sex Education and
Yeah.
SAS Rogue Heroes. If you've not got it in the US or if it's on the BBC, that is a show that needs to be watched.
Well, is that the special?
It's the start during World War II of the SAS.
Oh,
Tangent number
interesting.
4.
No, I don't think we have that here.
So it was on BBC. It's fantastic. It's 2 seasons, but it's how the SAS got formed, and Connor Swindles is in that as a significant role. But he's very different to who he is in Sex Education and this random comedy that we watched. Oh, The Holiday Heist or something like that it's called.
Oh yeah, that just recently came out.
Yeah. It's awful. Don't watch it.
Okay,
But-
I actually was a possibility, so now I won't.
Yeah, please don't. But the actress from Runaways, is it Runaways? No, it's Cloak and Dagger. That's what it was. I was like, it was one of the ones you've got coming up. She was the lead actress in Cloak and Dagger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway. Looking forward to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Keeping my expectations low for everything.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen The Runaways, so I'm excited to watch that as well. So I'll get straight onto that.
I don't think I have either, actually.
So,
my guess, I'm going to spend this next week just finishing Punisher and probably won't start Runaways. Although I have no plans for this weekend, so there's a possibility I just spend all of Saturday just watching TV shows.
Yeah,
there you go.
Doesn't make me sound sad at all.
Not at all. The Runaways, who play a significant role in the Civil War comic book.
Yes,
huge role,
but not obviously in the MCU.
Not less so in the MCU. Yeah,
less so in the MCU.
Okay, so the big news this week. We often do a little bit of news. The big news this week was that Netflix had a bid accepted to buy Warner Brothers. Pretty significant move. Now, obviously, there's lots of legal stuff to get through, lots of legal wrangling. The great giant Cheeto has spoken out and said he disagrees with it, probably because he's got shares in Paramount, and Paramount are trying to put a cash offer in.
Skydance Paramount with the Ellisons, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've seen, I think, the best reaction to Netflix's bid. Like, they just have $1 billion lying around. They won't let me, share a password with my mom.
I saw that. I saw that on Instagram. Yeah,
80 billion, isn't it?
Whatever.
82.7 or 82.4 or something like that.
And then
is the accepted bid.
Paramount.
And I'm not allowed to watch Netflix in my apartment because it's my parents pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous.
But remember, Netflix is not a profitable company, and this is where it all gets shady, because Netflix actually sell their shares and everything based on what they will make in the future. But they're actually, if you look at their records, they're not a profitable organization. It's all based on projections.
Future projections. Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. Of course, for me, as a cinephile and somebody who loves going to the cinema, that's where it's going to be a problem, because this is going to have a massive impact on the cinema. Now, The View in the UK, which is one of the main cinema chains, went into administration this week.
Oh, that's not good. I remember that from Blockies.
Yeah, so we had The View, Cineworld. They went into administration a few years ago, and we've got Odeon. They're the big chains. Now, two sides to every coin.
Yeah.
Is Warner Brothers, if they do end up, whatever happens, this is what I thought was funny, was the Cheeto said he doesn't think it's good. And you're like, but you think a Paramount deal is? Because it's the same situation. Whatever you do, it's the same situation. It's a big studio. They're buying another big studio and then creating a market where we only have 2 or 3 big studios.
I mean, that's kind of what we have already, though. I mean, like let's. I mean, if we break it down, like the way that the graphic that I saw was that if this deal goes through, Netflix will have essentially 1/3 of the entire streaming market in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but what makes up the other 66%? And when you peel back the onion, it's still only a handful of companies.
But it's a handful.
I mean, let's call it like it is. It's not like you're going to have only 3, but the other 66% is still only like 5 or 6 different entities. I mean, personally, I don't like either one, especially when I found out, because I was voting for Paramount, and for one reason and one reason.
We've talked about this, yeah.
We talked about it.
Star Wars?
I wanted Star Trek at Universal Studios theme parks, but what we've learned from either one of these deals is that the theme parks isn't part of the equation. It's just the media.
Yeah, the media.
Which is still cool.
Yeah.
Right. Which is still cool, but like I wanted it for the friggin' theme parks, man. Like that's what so I don't really care who buys it. I hope no one does, because I do agree with you. I think from a trying to avoid monopolistic situations, it's bad for everybody. Mm-hmm. But the other thing that I saw, to your point about the theaters, is that obviously I think the biggest thing that people are scared about with Netflix or Paramount really buying is that it's going to further kill the cinema industry. And the argument that I would make is that the cinema industry is already dying. Mm-hmm. It's been dying since even before the pandemic, but then after COVID, it's continued its downfall. And I was having this conversation with Stephanie like a couple weeks ago, and the last time we went to a movie at the AMC, which is one of the bigger ones out here, and it's the nice theater. It has like the leather seats that recline and like all that other stuff. It was filthy. The theater was disgusting. The concession stand was awful. The bathrooms, don't even get me started. Like it wasn't, and it cost, before we bought a popcorn or a soda, it was like $48. So when you add that into it, you're talking about $65-$70. And I'm like, I'm going to spend $70 to sit on a gross seat, to pee into a gross toilet, to eat overly priced popcorn and soda. Why, when I could just wait a month and a half, 2 months, and wait for it to come on streaming? Or if I don't want to wait that long for free with Disney Plus, I'll buy it on VOD for $20 and job done.
And then you can go to the movie theater, pick up a giant bag of popcorn.
If I want to, right.
And then you can have movie theater popcorn at home.
Exactly. Or I buy the kernels and I just make myself in my little fancy popcorn popper thingy.
That is good.
Or you just skip the popcorn entirely and get yourself a good takeout.
No, I like the movie theater popcorn with oily butter.
I mean,
but so I think that's the problem.
Going back to what you were saying, I think Marvel have a lot to answer for here. I think Marvel...
I think you're right.
Like the birth of the Marvel movies, the 3 a year, up to 4 a year at one point, but I think they've got a lot to answer for. They effectively put a nail in the coffin of cinemas.
You're 100% right. Marvel is the silent. You wouldn't think about it because obviously they're basing it off of those. When you talk about how this movie made X amount of $1 billion, whatever it is. I mean, they're talking about ticket sales. They're talking about people buying it and going to the cinema. But yeah, and that's why you don't see like.
But this is where it gets interesting. You talked about ticket prices there. So the way it works, the way the industry is structured, from my understanding, is the first week a film comes out, like 98% of that ticket price goes to the studio. The second week, at 94%. The third week, it's 90%. The fourth week, it's 70%. So while the Marvel movies were somewhat responsible for being these big blockbuster movies and everybody going in the first 2 weeks, they had some longevity to them. And it was why the studios loved Top Gun when it came out, because Top Gun hung about for a while. It's why the studios will still say that Titanic is probably, not the studios, the cinemas, will say that Titanic is probably one of the most successful films they've ever had, because Titanic was still screening 30 weeks after it came out and was still selling out screens, by which point the vast majority of that income was going to them.
Was going right into the pockets of the
So the whole
theaters,
structure
right.
of the industry has always been weighted towards the studios, and the studios benefiting from something being in the studio for 2 weeks, being in the cinema for 2 weeks. And streaming has had a significant impact on that, because now we know, as you said, 30 weeks between when it's launched in the cinema and when Disney Plus gets it.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to wait 30 weeks, or I'm going to buy it on video on demand. Right? That's what's going to happen. But, I mean, cinema was dying because film was dying, because independent films were dying. Like, cinemas need independent films. And actually, I think this could be a point. And I think we're going to go through 5 to 10 years of roughness with it. But I think what we'll see in that 5 to 10 years is the growth of independent cinemas and the growth of independent film again. And I think we'll start to see that, because basically we've gone back 100 years. We're in a studio system.
Yeah.
Right? Whether this merger happens or not, we're still in a studio system. The difference is, as you've said, there's 5 or 6. So should Warner Brothers, Netflix buy Warner Brothers, we're then down to 4.
Right.
Right. It becomes that whole thing. I mean, the argument would be, competitions wise, is it fair? Well, I mean, I'm sitting here on a Mac and you guys are sitting there on a Windows, and that's what 98% of the computers in the world.
Right.
One of 2 companies, you know.
Right.
You look at phones, Apple, Samsung, and then you've got a few smaller ones.
A few small ones out there, right? I mean, that is the world that we're in. I mean, even when it comes to, you mentioned, the handful, Cineworld, Odeon, a few others. Here it's Regal,
Yeah.
and AMC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know enough. I mean, there are other. I think there are other flavors of not flavors, but there are other brands throughout the country. But what I can tell you is that in between Dutchess County and Manhattan, that's really it. And then you occasionally will have like a one-off, like an Alamo Drafthouse,
Yeah.
which is a completely different experience. Which is obviously that's a traditional like dinner and a show type of scenario, which you'll have those sprung up, and that I think is where the industry may end up going. Is maybe they move away from like having the 200 seat theater and make that a 75 seat theater with a little table where you can get have a meal and a drink, ordering stuff on an iPad, and then it just magically appears at your table while you're sitting and watching a film.
Yeah. I mean,
because that I think what brings the experience back.
What we're seeing as well is we see that you have this idea that there's lots of different independent film companies out there, but actually, as you said, they're all big conglomerates now. So like A24, you're like, oh, brilliant, it's an A24 film, but actually A24 is part of a bigger studio.
Exactly, they're part of a huge thing.
So we're just stuck in that studio era. I was just Googling there, Artists Equity, which is the 2022 Matt Damon, Ben Affleck studio that they set up, where they were really specific about what they wanted to do. So A is one of theirs.
Yeah.
They've got a few others. Bearing in mind that they are still located at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank. But the instigators, the accountant too, they wanted specifically to do films that weren't necessarily big Hollywood movies, but told a story. But also they wanted to do it in a way that it made careers for people in the future. So the writer of they were like, A went through so many different iterations and rewrites that in Hollywood it would have ended up being story by, written by, script by, it would have, and then it would be 6 or 7 names, and they were like, we fought for that not to happen. It was story by, written by, because that's a huge script writing credit for the next generation of script writers.
100%. I mean, that's all about getting into their card.
But films like that have access through streaming. Will they find their place in the cinemas if it's in independent cinemas? It's that tough. And will we see the rebirth of B movies? Is that what cinemas will become? For Toxic Avengers, the original, not the newest one. Those type of movies, will we start seeing those things?
Will we see Iron Sky 2?
Yeah, and the cinema's a shared experience. I can tell you that I remember going to see Scary Movie, the first one, when it came out. on like opening weekend in a packed cinema, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen because everybody was enjoying that experience. Yeah. And then I went to see Scary Movie about a month later, and there was about 8 of us in the cinema, and it was a different experience because there was only 8 people watching. So even that.
I will say the best time I ever seen 50 Shades of Grey was Valentine's Day in the theaters.
Oh God!
Everybody was just drunk watching this movie, and it was good.
You know, but it has the opposite effect. Whereas the first time I saw Tusk was in the theater, and it was just me and 2 other dudes in different corners of the theater on the Second Avenue. Second Avenue. I'm not sure if it was the AMC or whatever was down there. That was an experience, and.
It's funny you should say that. I'm trying to think which one it was. It couldn't have been Clerks. It was Reboot, Jane Silent Bob Reboot. So you walk into the cinema, you sit down, and there was about 60 people. So there was a good showing. It was a good turnout and whatever. And as the movie finishes, we all stand up, and one guy goes, "Tell we're Kevin Smith fans," and everybody's wearing the same, right? We're in baggy hoodies, jeans. Everyone's got a beard. Most of us have glasses. Like you could have looked around, and it would have been like that obvious thing. But I took that comment, and I was like, "It's not wrong. It's absolutely not wrong." Like,
I love how he does his movies, where he just tours with them.
But that that's his idea. There, he's like, "Well, I can make it for $5 million, and then I can make 10 off it, taking it on tour."
Yeah,
that's the way.
Speaking of. Dogma 4K release.
Yep, I did see. Is it not released yet? I don't know. Is it supposed?
I'm
to
not
be
sure. I
yet?
think you can pre-order it. I think
I've seen people with copies of it where they were like, somebody was on one of the fan groups was like, popped into Walmart today. They clearly don't know what the release date is for this. He's got his copy of it. So
yes, I'm going to Walmart this weekend.
Yeah, it's worth a look. It's worth a look.
Let's see.
But yeah, absolutely. Like, I think, would it be a good thing having Warner Brothers be part of Netflix? I mean, content-wise, yes. Would we have somebody who could be competitive? The irony of it all would be we would get full reset on the DC universe, and we've not had one of those in a while.
So, I don't know. I feel like what I want to see happen is, to your point, like and there's so many actors that talk about it. I think Kevin talks about it. I know that like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck have, and a few others where you don't see that type of film anymore. Like you don't see a catch and release anymore. You don't see that $5 million comedy movie. Something like Superbad. You couldn't. No one's making Superbad today.
So it was funny. I listened to Jed Apatow was on the Two Bears podcast, and he was talking specifically about that. And he said he was asked, Bert read off his films. He said, so how did this come about? And he worked a lot with Jim Carrey early on. Saturday Night Live, all that sort of stuff, Cable Guy and things like that. And he said, and then we managed to basically build enough credit to make 40-Year-Old Virgin. And he said it took us 10 years to get there. But in those 10 years, we wrote Superbad, Pineapple Express. This is the end. Like, they wrote all of these comedies in that period of time, and nobody would buy those scripts. Nobody would touch those scripts. They're all, like, too edgy, not big enough stars, not interested.
Yeah.
He goes, a 40-Year-Old Virgin hit. And he said, we couldn't keep hold of our scripts. He's like, all of a sudden, studios realized that they could spend $25 million with us making a comedy that was going to go make 250, 400 million worldwide. And we had these stars who were willing to do it because they'd written the projects, they'd been involved in the projects from the start. And we don't have that. Studios are too afraid these days. BBC stopped making comedy because Little Britain offended people. Like, ultimately, that's what it came down to. BBC has stopped making comedy because it doesn't have the longevity. It becomes, the woke society pushes it past. And I'm all for equal rights and all of that. And I'm totally supportive.
Absolutely.
But comedy is in its time.
Yeah, but you have to be able to have a laugh. You have to be able to, that's the thing about comedy. Like, it's like you push the lines not so far that you can't see it, like Joey and Chandler.
Yeah.
But you have to push boundaries just a little bit, and you might piss off a little bit of people, but
it's not even pissing off people. I'm not worried about pissing off people now. If you piss people off, that's fine. Jimmy Carr's made a whole career out of doing exactly that, being controversial.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other comedians doing the exact same thing. You go back to Ralphie May. He was doing that way back, talking about things that nobody else talked about, especially
No one
explaining
talked about.
things. And
Oh yeah.
the issue is that we have people watching Little Britain now and being offended for comedy that was made 20 years ago.
That's right.
And
the times,
like that's just ridiculous. You can't hold something. It'd be like holding something from 1930 towards today's standard. And I mean, Disney gets around it literally in Dumbo by saying characterizations at the start of this film may be, found offensive. Please understand that these were a part of their time.
Right. Yeah. They did the same thing with the Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yeah.
Snow White. So, I mean, how do we fix the studio system? We don't. Netflix buys Warner Brothers, we get a whole reset, and maybe we get some good content.
Maybe we get some good DC.
Maybe we get Arrowverse all on Netflix, so you can watch it in the right chronology. Because that's the biggest issue right now, is trying to find the right way to watch it. Sidebar, Scarlett Johansson might be appearing in the new Batman 2.
I heard about that with the Robert Pattinson one. Mm-hmm. Robert Pattinson Batman.
I was just talking about this.
Yeah.
I want her to be the bad guy.
I think it's a possibility. I think that's where they might go with it.
Who would you cast her as?
I can't remember what the storyline that I'd read. Hang on. I'm gonna have to Google it.
I want her to be somebody different we haven't had before.
So Poison Ivy's out, Catwoman's out.
Yeah,
well, plus they
wouldn't fit.
No.
What's her name? I want to say it begins with a V. Andrew, the Phantasm. The Phantasm is a possibility. Okay. That's what they were looking at.
So you wouldn't go like Talia al Ghul?
No. Like you said, go somewhere different.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I think that's what Matt Reeves was saying anyway. Like he wants the bad guy to be.
He said it.
Somebody before.
Yeah. And I think they've talked about possibly the Joker making an appearance, but the Joker being, I think in the Phantasm, the Joker's nothing more than a mob hitman.
Right.
Like he's sort of just a person that is out there, a thorn in the side, but not like the crazy Joker. So that could be interesting. And then a sidebar to that one is that apparently they're pushing for the Dark Knight to be part of the Superman universe and making a new Dark Knight movie.
With Bale?
With Bale. Which totally flies in the face of, we have to get rid of Henry Cavill because he's too old.
Yeah.
Bring back Cavill.
Maybe Netflix will.
Oh, God. That was just... It still makes me mad that they threw him away. Cavill.
But it wasn't just him. Let's think about it. They threw Affleck away. Gal Gadot.
I don't know. I still want to know if all this stuff with Netflix is going to put a hold on The Last Ronin.
I mean, the issue with this, so me and Jen were talking about this because I said, does that mean that they put a hold on HBO Max, which is due to launch here in the new year, January? I think they've said the new year. They've hinted January, February. And I was like, no, because ultimately they have to go through a whole series of court stuff in the US competition.
It's going to be 18 months.
Yeah.
No matter where this goes, whether it's Paramount or whether it's Netflix, it's going to be 12 to 18 months before any of this. And then it's probably going to be another 6 months after that until it actually everything conglomerates.
Because a lot of these things have contracts. That's where it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
They'll have a contract to be a distributor. And I said, it'd be great because the Harry Potter series, which has been produced by HBO Max, which is one of us, would then probably just come straight to Netflix here. But ultimately, Sky have a deal. They have Sky Atlantic, which has first rights to all.
Which shows all the HBO stuff, you guys.
So there's those knock-on effects. But as we said, it's going to go through the courts here. It'll have to go through It'll have to go through the courts here as well in Europe.
No, well.
So, there's the whole monopolies thing.
I honestly don't think we'll see any kind of change for at least a year.
I think should they buy it, what we'll find is that they have to have a strict management structure that is outside of Netflix.
Yeah.
And it'll result in some contracts being signed easier, but ultimately it'll be. What does our lawyer think?
I don't know. I don't do contract law. All I know is that there's no medical malpractice going on.
Okay, there you go. That's always good.
So is this a good chance to put in a little bit of a news segment?
Let's do it.
So for those of you who enjoy, we were talking about Medusa before, but I'm going to go now. Greek mythology Medusa.
Okay.
Season 2 of Percy Jackson airs. It'll be airing after this podcast is released. Before this podcast is released, it airs Wednesday, December 10th, at I believe 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Season 2 of Percy Jackson, and the first season I think did a very nice job of adapting The Lightning Thief, which was the first book in that series, and was the first movie that they released a number of years ago under Fox, who should not be, the name who should not be named because they kill everything it touches, like Firefly and Percy Jackson and Aragon and so many other things.
But
Fantastic Four.
Ironically, they didn't kill Deadpool, no matter how much they tried.
It's true. Ironically, they did not kill
back.
Deadpool. You're right. Well, because Deadpool can't be killed.
Exactly. Exactly
so,
that.
But yeah, so that is being released, like I said, on Wednesday, December 10th. I'm looking forward to it.
Stirring is underway. War is inevitable. There are forces more powerful than the will of the gods, my son.
I
I do think of you every time I see it because I was aware that they'd gone back and done the TV show. And I was like, I know that you not so much didn't mind the movies, but you were like, I'll take any content I can possibly get.
That's kind of how it was. I mean, that's how I felt about Percy Jackson. That is not how I felt about Aragon, the Aragon movie. Yeah. That was just a steaming pile of garbage. I actually tried to watch it about 2 weeks ago because I was having trouble falling asleep, and I put it on, and after like 10 minutes, I was like, I just can't do it. The first 10 minutes is just all wrong.
You're like, I found a film so bad, it'll put me to sleep, and then you start watching it, and it does the opposit.
It just makes me angry. It just made me, it made me more awake. But whereas with the Percy Jackson movies that they came out with in the mid 2000s, my biggest beef with it was that they aged up the kids. Like that's the issue. Is that like they started off and Percy Jackson is like 15 going on 16. We're like that, like in the lore of the Percy Jackson mythos, something major happens to him at 16.
Yeah.
So like to start him at that age with the first book when he's supposed to be 11, like that's just you've already gotten off on the wrong foot. The actual movie itself is not bad as long as you have no clue what's happening. If you've never read the books, it's probably fine.
If you know what's going on, it's a great movie.
If you don't know what's going on, you're gonna have fun. Like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be satyrs.
As with any book adaptation.
Yeah. Like you can't get it all right. And even the first season of Percy Jackson, like there are bits of it where I'm like, because I reread the first book before the show came out last year. Maybe to my detriment, maybe not. I did not do that this time around. I've not read the second book recently. But I'm like, okay, like I could see why they like sped this bit up, or I can see why they took that bit out because it doesn't really add to the story. Like you can streamline this because again, you're trying to make it into a show. You can't fit the whole book, no matter how many episodes or hours you have. But they did a much better job with season 1 than they did with the movie. Rick Riordan, the author, is in the writer's room. He is an executive producer, so he is like signing off on all these scripts, and he's got that deal. And I think that's helped a lot.
Miranda was in it.
What's that?
Did I see that Lin-Manuel Miranda's in it in season 2?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He plays a fun character, Chiron, I think.
We were listening to music yesterday, and we had an interesting sidebar on Hamilton because I actually prefer In the Heights to Hamilton, and Gemma does not like Hamilton at all. And I was like, "Do you think it's because Hamilton doesn't mean anything to us?" I was like, 6 is a much bigger success here than it is in America. Is that because we study 6? We understand where the 6 wives came from, and that's part of what we study in history. And Hamilton, for you guys, is the same thing. So by creating Hamilton and making it a pop culture reference, you're actually reinforcing something that people were forced to study in school and making it cool. The same as 6 right here.
Barely studied Alexander Hamilton as a founding father. Right. But, I mean, I think it's also there's a lot more close to home, regardless if we love that or not. Because I don't know if you know this, but the American education system sucks.
Well, I've been doing my own reading recently and a little bit of history, and I was amazed to find, and they actually mention it in the "You'll Be Back" song. I'll send a fully armed battalion, and it tickles me that, and this will offend many Americans, but that the last war that you won on your own soil was the American War of Independence, where you fought one battalion of Brits.
We won the Civil War.
Against ourselves. Against ourselves.
Somebody still won.
Just saying, we won against ourselves.
No, nobody won. You don't understand. Nobody won that because people just died, and then you went, oh yeah, so we're just going to keep things the same, really. Right? We're going to abolish slavery, but
we had new amendments. Also, you say it's the last war we won on our soil.
Yeah,
like there really haven't been many wars on our soil.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the French-Canadian War.
Yeah,
or the Frank. Yeah.
Just the war on drugs, which is still losing. Not according to our government. Reading my history, it was interesting from a British perspective to understand that actually the British went, well, America's not that valuable to us because we don't get anything, and it's kicking off in India, and that is all the spices in the tea, so we really need to go fix that. So literally they went, let them have it. And you guys like, one.
I will say I do have a slightly unique perspective because I was required to take American history as part of my degree, which I thought was. At
the time you were like, this is bullshit.
So interesting the difference between, huh?
At the time you thought this is bullshit, like this is absolute, and then you were like, oh shit.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I will listen. I'll give credit where credit is due. A lot of the information I do think was like, okay, you're teaching me this. I was taught this, and it's the exact same. Cool, but there's definitely parts of it where I was just like, that's not how I learned it.
Yeah.
And history is written by the victors. I mean, let's call it like it is.
I was going to say, which is a lesson for everybody out there. Don't just read from one perspective. Please read from every perspective. Exactly. Unless you're a lawyer, in which case, just read from your perspective, right, Mallory?
Although, can we think of any other jobs where like there's a clear winner and loser, and someone is actively trying to prevent you from doing your job? Like
outside of sports, you're right.
You when you're a teacher, you don't have like a enemy teacher trying to like uproot your class.
Or an enemy teacher that you really dislike in the courtroom, but go and have beers with as soon as you finish.
But we do that also.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're right.
That would be a great game in school. Like a hostile takeover, teacher versus teacher, winner gets both classrooms.
Being a pilot must be super stressful, but your co-pilot is not trying to like actually crash you into the mountain.
Unless you fly with German wings. Too soon? No. That's plenty of time. Statute of limitations.
Unless you fly Spirit Airlines.
Yeah. or Malaysian. They lose a couple of planes a year.
Oh no.
We've not done a staff pick in a while, and I'm not going to do a staff pick now, but I will say that SAS Rogue Heroes is available on Epics in the US.
I am bringing together men of a particular caliber. I've decided to form a parachute regiment.
This is the uniform of your new regiment, the SAS.
The war is in the balance.
Why do you want to fight in the desert, Dave?
Well, just not killing fascists, sir.
I am a long shot, but at least I am a shot.
We will destroy more enemy airplanes on the ground than the RAF will destroy in the air.
Let the games begin.
Who dares wins, and we will continue to dare.
What are the chances of survival?
10%.
Welcome to the SAS.
Oh, Epics? Okay.
First season's on Epics. Second season and third season, which isn't out yet, is, in fact, thinking about it, second season came out in January. So now I'm hopeful that the third season's around the corner. Will be on MGM Plus.
Okay.
So, it's that whole nobody knows what this is, so let's give it to a free streaming service. Followed
Right,
by,
exactly.
oh, this is really good. Let's get it unpaid.
MGM Plus is not free.
No, MGM Plus
Epix.
is not free. Epix is.
Epix. That's what I mean. So
Yeah.
season 1, they were like, nobody will take it. Will you have it for free? And they were like, yes. And then they were like, this is really good. And MGM Plus were like, it is. We're buying season 2 and 3. Yes, I know. Great. It's very good and good piece of history from a British perspective, British-French perspective.
Oh, you had me, and then you said the second.
But no, because what I've learned, not just from that, from books that I've read as well, is that a large parts of the SAS were French. The Free French Army. There was whole battalions of SAS who were the Free French Army who'd escaped from France and fought back. And then we had Poles and Canadians and Americans. One of the guys is an American in the book that I'm reading at the moment, which is based on notes. He's an American who wanted to get involved in the war before America was involved in the war, so flew over and pretended to be British. Like faked his passports and stuff so he could get into the Would people do that now? People do the opposite, right? Anyways, I think that's it. We got anything more to add?
Wait, say Ewan Rian one more time.
God.
Ewan Rian. Theon. I think if we're going for Welsh, it's Theon.
Like Theon Greyjoy?
Like Theon with an R at the front. Theon.
Max, say it like
Ewan Theon.
Say it like Colin. There you go.
Ewan Theon, innit? That's when he went into Welsh class, you know for a fact that's what he was called. Ewan.
Who's called his jacket?
Yeah, not even Ewan. Ewan.
Yeah.
Ewan Rion here. Where are you, Ewan? It's time you go to the back of the class, boy. Sick and tired of you acting up.
Just imagine that for like 2 hours in the back of a car, not understanding a damn word that's going on, and that was my life for one day.
The same day, by the way, that Luch, right? Beautiful mountains. We're in the Brecon Beacons. We're looking over it. We stop at an ice cream van, right? And you know the Brecon Beacons. Yeah,
I love the Brecon Beacons.
So we stop and we get an ice cream and we're standing there looking over this valley, this beautiful vista. And we've all got a cone, and I'm just licking my ice cream and going away. My dad's licking the ice cream and going. We look at Luch and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. His ice cream running down his arm, totally unaware that he has to turn and lick and turn and lick and turn and lick because. Being an American, he'd only ever had it in a cup with a cone stuck on top.
It's true.
He didn't realise that you could get it without the cup.
Wait, that is not an American thing. That's a Luch is special.
But I just remember it was like, honestly, I will one day it'll go in a story somewhere, and hopefully it'll be in a film, and you'll see the 3 people stood there, and there'll be the 1, 2, and then ice cream running all the way down his elbow.
Oh,
poor Luch.
I know. Even Jack
tried to become an adult too soon.
Even Jack got onto that pretty quickly.
Wow. All right. On that note.
It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from them.
It's goodbye from Ewan Rian.
I'm Ewan McGregor.